What is up, my friends? Believe it or not, it is already time for our Sunderland preview. Just a reminder, it is an 8:15 p.m. kickoff on Wednesday night, so we'll be live from 7 o'clock to take you through the game. As always, I'm going to go through, give you a bit of an update around the injury situation. Then we'll go and give you a bit of a fact file on our opponents, as well as their recent form coming into this one. I'll give you my predicted 11, and then we will finish up with a score prediction. As always, I want to know your thoughts, so please feel free to let me know in the comment section. There are going to be some divisive selections in this particular 11, so I really do want to know how you're feeling about it, particularly with the Mohamed Salah situation. Should he come back in? Should he be kept on the bench? Would love to know your thoughts. I'm going to get into it, folks, because there's a lot to go through. So let's start off with an update around the injury situation. We don't think Bradley or Frimpong are coming back just yet. We, of course, know Giovanni Leone is ruled out longer term. It was great to see Florian Wirtz come back into the team. That was a pleasant surprise to me for the game against West Ham. So other than that, I think we pretty much are where we are. No new concerns, which is good. You know, we don't want any more injuries at this point. The manager was a pain to say he has about 15 or 16 outfield players to choose from. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. Now, Arna hasn't done his press conference yet, so if anything pops up from that, of course, we'll try our best to let you know. But for now, let's get straight into a fact file on Sunderland, of course, newly promoted, and we'll have a look at their form. So, Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League games against Sunderland, winning 6 and drawing 4 since a 1-0 loss in March way back in 2012. Sunderland have lost 13 of their 16 Premier League away games against the reigning champions, winning 2 and drawing 1. Liverpool have lost just one of their last 25 midweek Premier League games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going down 2-0 at Everton in April 2024. Mohamed Salah has scored 8 goals in his last 7 Premier League appearances against newly promoted sides. Head-to-head wise, Premier League all the way back in 16-17, it was Liverpool who drew 2-2 away at Sunderland. Down at Anfield, it was Liverpool 2, Sunderland 0. Premier League 15-16, Liverpool 2, Sunderland 2 at Anfield, and then Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1 at the Stadium of Light. Here's Sunderland's recent form, and it is a bit patchy, as you can see. They've been very good at the Stadium of Light, but away from home a little bit different. So, in the Premier League, they had a fantastic come-from-behind 3-2 victory over Bournemouth. Then they lost 1-0 at Craven Cottage against Fulham. 2-2 draw in the Premier League at the Stadium of Light against Arsenal, which is a very, very credible result. They had a similar result against Everton, 1-1. And then in the Premier League, they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That is certainly a standout result there, beating them by 2-1. So I think it's fair to say this is going to be no walkover by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be a decent test for Arna. We beat West Ham, but we've got to back that up because let's be honest, West Ham are no great shakes this season. They are certainly in amongst the relegation battle candidates. So, with that in mind, let's get stuck into my predicted 11, and of course, I'll try to explain my choices as we go through. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper and the centre-backs, and there is no surprises here. I would be going for Alisson, Ibrahim Konate and Virgil van Dijk. I think both Konate and Van Dijk looked a little bit more assured at the weekend, although Konate still had a little bit of tetchiness in him. But, of course, no shots on target conceded, and I can't complain about that as a Liverpool fan one bit. So that's the goalkeeper and the centre-backs. Into the full-back positions now. As you can see, I'm keeping Joe Gomez at right back, but I'm bringing Andy Robertson in at left back. With Gomez, I'm intrigued to see if he can start to play these 2-3 games every 7 or 8 days. If he can, I think he's got to continue. I know it is a risk having all of your fit available centre-backs on the pitch at one time, but we're not too far away from the likes of Conor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong being back. So at least that will give us some options. So that is my back 5. Andy Robertson to come in for Milos Kerkez on the left. Just a straight rotation there. Milos perhaps could come back in for the weekend. Centre-back pairing Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate, and right back Joe Gomez. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't been shouting at me just yet, because as we go through the team, I think there will be some angry people. Let's move into midfield now. And as you can see, I have gone for Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai. Similar thinking to my last team selection. I still don't think Alexis McAllister is fully up to speed this season, and he isn't his usual combative self. So I would bring in Curtis Jones for this one. I think Curtis Jones makes a difference when he's in the team, and when he comes on in particular, he's always driving us forward. Now, I know there are Curtis Jones detractors out there who don't perhaps think he's worth putting into a team, but right now with the way Maka is, I think it's worth giving Curtis Jones a run out at home. And of course, to rest Mac up as well. So Jones for me with Dominic Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch. That is my midfield trio. Now, my system is a 4-2-3-1, as you can see. So let's move in now to the wide positions, ladies and gents. And this is where some people will be happy with me. Some people will be very, very unhappy with me. So I'm going to stick with Florian Wirtz on the right-hand side because, like, as I said, we looked better, in my opinion. And if you look at his touch map, he was not only playing on the right, he was all over the place. He was kind of given free rein to create an overloaded midfield, as Arne said, to give us an extra body. And his touch map just shows that he popped up everywhere. But we somehow still managed to keep solid on that right-hand side and weren't open to attack. So, for me, Wirtz on the right. I've gone for Hugo Ekitike to come in on the left because, well, quite frankly, I want to find a way to get Isak and Ekitike into the team because I'd like to see what they're both about together, and I think that we have to look to the future. Cody Gakpo could do with a rest as well, bring him back in for the game against Leeds at the weekend, but for now, it's Florian Wirtz for me on the right-hand side and Hugo Ekitike on the left. And what does that mean then through the centre? You've probably worked it out because I did say I wanted to play them together. So, Alexander Isak for me to come in through the middle. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say to you that I think that was an all-conquering performance from Isak, but there was a really good piece of analysis from Alan Shearer on Match of the Day, showing the things that we were doing wrong as a team to not give him the ball earlier. And I do think if we can get that ball in across the 6-yard box a little bit quicker for him and look at the little pockets of space that he's picking up inside the penalty area, that will lead to more goals and a happier Alexander Isak and a happier Liverpool fan base. So, to run through my team one more time, ladies and gents: Alisson Becker in goal, left back Andy Robertson, right back Joe Gomez, your centre backs of Ibrahim Konate and our captain Virgil van Dijk. In midfield, Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. Left hand side of attack, Hugo Ekitike. Right hand side, Florian Wirtz. And through the middle, Mr. Alexander Isak. That, I think, is a look into Liverpool's future. Yes, Gomez on the right will change when the fullbacks come back in, but that is me thinking ahead to how we can get the best out of this team. We know Mohamed Salah is going to be away for the 5-6 weeks of the AFCON. So to me, this is what Arne should be doing to build towards the future and then let Mo fight for his place when he comes back in. So, all that remains now is for me to give you the score prediction for this one. Happy to say I've gone for a Liverpool win, and I'm going for a Liverpool win by 3-1. It could be just too much to ask for 2 clean sheets in a row, could it? I take it. I'd rather a 2-0, but I'm going to go for a 3-1. So that is it from me for now, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, I want to know your thoughts, not only on my starting 11 and my score prediction, your thoughts on what you think Arne should do. Will he bring Mohamed Salah straight back in, or will he do what Steve Nicholas has urged them to, which is leave him on the bench and keep going with the newer players? We'll be live from 7 o'clock for the watch along. We'll have our match reaction, a player ratings video, and everything else you would expect on a match day. Until then, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk soon. Much love. Bye-bye.